Welcome back. I'm off in the 322 today to Lichfield to see a chap called Steve who contacted me about his 405 knuckles. He has a pretty alarming story, but I will let him tell you about that.
And a woman was gesturing through the window, banging on the window, so I wound the window and she said, "Your wheel's hanging off."
Thank you. I'm with Steve in Lichfield, and clearly a lovely 405. Steve, why did you buy a 405?
I was trying to combine two vehicles.
Yeah.
One 3.5 ton towing capacity.
Yeah.
Formerly I had a Discovery 3.
Yeah.
And also I had a big Lexus 600 luxury saloon.
Yeah.
And I wanted to try and combine those two into one car.
Yeah.
Looked around and this seemed to be the only thing that would do that.
Yeah.
Particularly with the towing capacity. So that's why I went for the Range Rover.
Why is the towing capacity important to you?
Because I've got an excavator that weighs 2.5 tons.
Okay.
And the trailer weighs a ton.
Right.
That's 3.5 tons.
Right.
So that's the main reason.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So how long have you had this?
Since December 2024.
Right. December 24.
Yeah.
And how long had you had it before you realised it had a problem?
2 days.
So the reason I've come to see Steve is he's one of the rare people who have had one of these cars let go at speed. So Steve, tell us actually what happened to you.
Okay, early morning about 5:30, going down the motorway. Traffic island coming up, my exit, started to slow down, probably got down to about 50, between 50 and 40.
Yeah.
And started to brake a bit heavier, and suddenly there's an almighty bang and the car just careered from left to right, virtually out of control.
Yeah.
Initially I thought, what hadn't I seen on the road? I've hit something. I expected both front tyres to be blown out.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. It was the right hand side, the driver's side, suspension knuckle had completely broken off.
And this was after 2 days of having the car?
2 days, yeah.
Which?
I'd driven the car back from when I purchased it.
Yep.
Parked it here, didn't use it the following day, but the
Yep.
day after that I went on this journey, so it had done less than 100 miles.
Okay. Were you towing at the time?
No.
No, okay. So if you'd have been towing a digger,
goodness knows,
You'd
I
have-
dread to think.
it probably
If
would
there
have.
had been traffic either side of me, because
Yep.
that's a really busy intersection, it goes to 3 lanes on a big traffic island.
Yeah.
Normally in busy times there's traffic both sides of you.
Yeah. And you wouldn't have been approaching it any slower, would you?
Yeah, I would have hit something or they would have hit me.
Yeah. I think this is the issue that we as 405 owners face, is that unless we inspect these things, unless it actually let goes, we just don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So from that point, what happened next?
The car came to rest just on the island. I had to find recovery.
Yep.
AA came out and recovered the vehicle, took it to a repairer of my choice. He was a specialist in the mark.
Okay.
They stripped it to assess the damage.
Yeah.
The damage was quite bad because going at speed, it had torn out the drive shaft.
Yeah.
It had bent the shock absorber,
So drive
bent the
shaft,
drop
shock.
link. Also had bent the lower suspension arms, which are quite substantial
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And we also feared it had buckled the wheel, but that wasn't the case. But
Right.
it was an awful lot of damage just for what had happened, because normally when they're just rolling or stationary, the knuckle breaks and it doesn't do much more damage other than you need to replace your knuckle.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the case with mine. It was quite a lot of damage.
Yeah. Did you put genuine parts on it?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably, I think, if you're thinking of putting aftermarket parts on, and JLR are saying they're not going to pay at the moment, then I'd recommend trying to get the genuine stuff, putting that on, keeping the invoices, and then maybe in future JLR will refund that. From a cost point of view, what was the total
The total bill came to about £3,700.
Right.
I also, at the same time, had the passenger side replaced as a precaution.
Sure.
I'd inspected it. I purchased the crack identifier.
Yep.
There weren't any cracks, or I couldn't see any cracks present, but
Yep.
it was such a frightening experience that I just thought, I can't take the chance. So I replaced both sides at the same time.
Yeah. How do you feel about the car now?
Oh, I love the car.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, this is the challenge that us Range Rover owners seem to be afflicted by.
Yes.
Is that there isn't quite, unless you buy a Toyota, of course. There isn't anything quite like them on the road, is there? Of the experience.
No. I looked around for something to fit the bill
Yeah.
with the luxurious drive of the car and his capabilities, and there's nothing else.
Yeah.
There really isn't.
Yeah.
But prior to this, I had the Discovery, which was good at towing, but in terms of performance and comfort, it doesn't come anywhere near the Range Rover.
No. So just in terms of contacting Jaguar Land Rover,
Yes.
did you do anything around that at the time?
Yes. I did a bit of research on the internet, and then decided to contact customer services.
Yep.
I did that initially. After a conversation, I was told that there's nothing they can do. They checked the VIN number against their recall or the partial recall, and said that mine wasn't included, and therefore, because given the age of the vehicle, there's absolutely nothing they could do.
Sure.
So I said, well, what can I do now to try and get some action with this? And they said the only thing you can do is contact the vehicle ombudsman.
Right.
Which I did. They initially looked at it and said, we're very busy, we think that we can take this case on.
Right.
We'll get back in touch with you when you're being assigned someone to look at it.
Yeah.
I waited until last week for that reply.
From the vehicle ombudsman. Yeah. I'm not sure what that is, but they clearly don't work very quick.
No, it's like an ombudsman in any industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
They oversee the industry and supposed to have some clout in getting you some action or satisfaction.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they came back to me and said, look, it's not a warranty issue. It's not something that we feel we can help with.
Right.
Sorry, case closed.
Wow.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
And I emailed them back to say, well, what can I do for me? And the only thing you can do, in their opinion, was to contact that government
DVSA.
DVSA,
as was VOSA, I think.
Yeah.
It was. I think. Yeah. VOSA merged with.
Yeah. And in terms of getting any sort of compensation or reimbursement, the only route would be a legal route, which would be citizens' advice or appoint your own lawyer.
Yeah. Right. Which
Simple
is just mind space, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
And money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So subsequently, have you contacted DVSA?
I have, yes. Yeah, sent them all the information I can and all that I've done to date, and my contact and response from JLR. I sent that to them as well.
Yeah.
Still waiting to hear back from them as to what we do now. I think they will need to take the old knuckle from me.
Yeah. So you've still got those old parts?
I've still got those parts, yeah.
And that's another recommendation. If this happens, if it does break on you, make sure all yours are cracked. Make sure you keep the old stuff.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing is for Jaguar Land Rover to do a full recall must be extremely expensive. But for them to deny this is an issue and to not recompense people who have either had the problem or have got cracked knuckles, for me, just doesn't seem acceptable.
No.
If you'd been driving at 8:30 in the morning and it let go, and had you been towing, this car could have been on its roof and you could have skittled. You know, you'd have had 7 tons out of control, wouldn't you?
That was the biggest fear factor for me, the fact that I'd just been doing motorway speeds, 70 miles an hour, around that sort of speed.
Yep.
And you quite often get somebody in front of you that brakes hard and you have to suddenly smack the brakes on.
Yep.
If that situation had happened and that speed, this car would have been totally uncontrollable.
Yep.
And you've been probably close to, maybe in the outside lane, close to the central reservation, the barriers. I just don't know.
If you had a wagon on your left-hand side.
Oh, I went cold. I went absolutely cold.
Yeah.
I sat at the traffic island and no cars at first, and then a car came down to my right-hand side after it happened, and a woman was gesturing through the window, banging on the window. So I wound the window and she said, "Your wheel's hanging off."
Thank you very much.
And at that point, I still didn't know what had happened because I hadn't got out of the car.
No.
Yeah, and I saw it and I thought, oh God, just moments ago I was doing 70 miles an hour.
I know.
So I think it's only a matter of time before there is something catastrophic with these cars.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the failure as well. From what I can see from the internet and from my experience is that you get a hairline crack, and I've seen these crack being revealed with crack identifying products.
Yeah.
And it's not visible to the naked eye, but you put the crack product on and then you can see it.
Exactly.
That crack worsens and worsens and worsens over weeks and months, and the dirt and the road grime gets in and causes corrosion, until one day, it could be months after the crack begins, it just lets go.
Exactly.
Suddenly.
Yeah. And One thing that I know warranty companies are fighting against a little bit is saying, well, no, it's caused by corrosion.
No, the corrosion only gets in after the cracks appeared, I think.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's no crack, then the corrosion can't start.
No.
But of course, as we know, it's aluminium. There's salt on the roads. Those two things never go hand in hand together, do they?
No.
Well, look, Steve, thank you very much for sharing your
Pleasure.
story. Firstly, I'm glad that you got out of it unscathed and nobody else was hurt. I hope that with the next person I'm meeting, who's actually an MOT inspector that didn't know, and I'll let him tell the story. But apparently, this isn't something that MOT inspectors regularly check, and there's no mechanism to inform MOT inspectors to make specific checks on specific vehicles.
Right, well that would be handy, wouldn't it?
Well, amazing, wouldn't it? If these are, what's this, 2015?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's had 12 MOTs,
Yeah.
pretty much, 11 or 12 MOTs.
Yeah.
The cracks could have been here for 6 years.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Great cars, just check your knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. Fight time. Big thanks to Steve, first of all, for sharing his experience of his knuckles having let go at 40 to 50 miles an hour. Pretty terrifying. I was hoping to bring you the story of someone I'd contacted or who contacted me based up in Lincolnshire, but unfortunately that's not going to happen. But he's one of those gentlemen who has managed to get Jaguar Land Rover to pay for his knuckles. I'm going to tell you how he did it, but I can't tell you whether it's going to work for you if you discover that your 405's knuckles are cracked. I've spoken to two main dealers who I know have both put through cases to Jaguar Land Rover to ask for goodwill payment, and they have both been successful, but it is very much dependent upon each individual case. Now, the things that affect whether Jaguar Land Rover will pay for your cracked knuckles if it's outside a recall primarily seem to be about customer loyalty, which means if you've owned the car for a while and have had it serviced at a Jaguar Land Rover dealership, you're very likely, or you're more likely to get your car paid for by Jaguar Land Rover. If you've bought a number of Range Rovers in the past, again, you're more likely to get a gesture of goodwill from JLR to pay for your cracked knuckles. I'd only just bought this car, and despite it having had full Jaguar Land Rover service history, that service history was not with me, it was with the previous owner. So it's possible that if I'd have asked the previous owner to present this car to the dealership, they may have taken a different view. So what does that mean for you? First of all, if you're going to buy one of these and you inspect it and it's got cracked knuckles, just ask the seller to either get it fixed or don't buy it, unless you have a warranty that's going to cover the full cost of both knuckles, or whichever knuckles are cracked. So first of all, if you're going to buy one or if you own one, check it, and then if your warranties are going to cover it, that's fine. Get the warranty to pay out. What other cards do you have to play? You could suggest that you're aware of potentially a motoring journalist that would like to pick up this particular topic if they don't pay, but you only do get one chance with JLR. If they decline to pay, either directly to yourself or through your main dealer, then I have not been successful in getting them to reopen the case. However, there may be light at the end of the tunnel, because you will know that in the UK there's a recall for certain cars, but in the US, as of August the 8th, 2025, there has been a recall announced for 121,509 Range Rovers of this age, L405s, and Range Rover Sports, which has not been included in any UK recall. So that's the L494. Now, I will read out to you the details of the US recall, because it's directly relevant to UK cars as well. Right. This is the 25V514 US Department of Transport National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recall. It includes two vehicles. First of all, a 2014 to 2017 Land Rover Range Rover. How many? 54,720 of those. And vehicle number two, a Land Rover Range Rover Sport. So the Sport, which was not previously involved in any recall. 66,789 of those. The general gist of the recall is the same for both cars. Jaguar Land Rover is conducting a voluntary safety recall campaign involving certain 2014 model year to 2017 model year Land Rover Range Rover vehicles built at the Solihull Vehicle Assembly Plant during the period from 1st of October 2014 to November the 10th 2017. 54,720 Land Rover Range Rover vehicles in the United States and Federalised Territories. The basis for the recall production was determined by matching the component batch build date range to vehicle build date range. In addition, there was some stock of the at-risk parts was held at the Tier 1 supplier for an unconnected reason and subsequently released later into the vehicle assembly plant, leading to a mixed condition of build. For US and Canada, the at-risk extends to vehicles manufactured for sale between 1st of October 2014 and the end of the 2017 model year. So I think that's going to be the same for any UK vehicles, because it's basically saying that anything that was produced between 1st of October 2014 and the end of the 2017 model year could have had these particular batch of parts that Jaguar Land Rover are holding out as being the reason for this knuckle cracking. As for the description on the Range Rover Sport, it's basically the same. The reason is the same for the Range Rover Sport. 66,789 Land Rover Range Rover Sport vehicles in the United States and Federalised Territories. So they're trying to pin this on a particular supplier. I don't know whether they've changed the supplier from Super Alloy Industrial Company Limited. Description of the defect. A concern has been identified on certain 2014 and all 2015 to 2017 model year Range Rover and Range Rover Sport vehicles where the front suspension upper knuckle joint could develop a crack. In extreme cases, this may lead to detachment of the upper suspension arm, as we saw in Steve's case earlier on. This is interesting. The description of the safety risk, including crash, fire, death, injury. In cases where a crack in the front suspension knuckle has developed, certain environmental conditions may lead to a worsening of the crack and an eventual detachment of the upper suspension arm. So certain environmental conditions may lead to a worsening of the crack. I don't think that's correct. I don't think it's down to environmental conditions. I think it's the fact that once a crack starts, it's very unlikely that crack is going to stop getting bigger, which under extreme avoidance manoeuvre may compromise the vehicle's controllability and increase the risk of a crash, as we've seen in Steve's case. So that's the latest on the L405 cracked knuckle issue. Safety recall in the States due to hit people's inboxes or mailboxes very shortly. I'm hoping that the same is going to be the case in the UK. But if you've got an L405 or an L494, the first thing to do is to check the state of your front knuckles. Easy to do. Jack the car up, have a look at my previous video, I show you how to do it. If they are cracked, you've got to get them fixed. Try and go through your Land Rover main dealer. If they will pay for it, great. Work hard to position the message with the customer service agent at the main dealer, because it's basically one shot and you're out. If Jaguar Land Rover don't approve it, then they're not going to change their mind. So it's going to be down to you to pay for it, as Steve had to do, or down to the extended warranty company that you may have on your car. Again, if you're looking at buying one of these, make sure the knuckles are not cracked. So whether you're buying it privately, from a main dealer, from any other used car supplier, just check that the car you're looking to buy does not have cracked knuckles. I might seem like a bit of a stuck record, but I know this will be the first time some people have become aware of this issue. So I hope you found it useful. If you have, please do subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you're driving one of these, take care of yourselves. Let's just hope your wheels haven't fallen off if you haven't checked your car. It is a challenge when you invest in one of these things to realise that the front suspension might just fall off. Unacceptable, I'd say. So please, if you know anyone that owns one of these, and I know that very few women, for obvious reasons, watch my channel, but if you happen to be a woman and your husband or partner drives around in one of these cars, or if you actually drive around in one of these cars, please ask somebody that's able to put the car on high mode, to jack it up and have a look, to check to see that these knuckles aren't cracked. Because as Steve said, it's only a matter of time until something catastrophic happens with one of these cars on UK roads. Steve was so lucky that his car let go at 5:30 in the morning. Again, thank you for joining me. If you found this useful or bearable, please do subscribe. I much appreciate it. And take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you again very soon.